Hello friends! Did you know an innocent-looking fruit like the cherry can be lethal? Yes, you heard it right. The pits of this sweet, delightful fruit are not as harmless as they seem. When crushed, chewed, or damaged, they release a type of cyanide, a deadly poison. Accidentally ingesting these pits can lead to cyanide poisoning, an alarming fact that's sure to make you think twice before you casually toss a cherry into your mouth. Now that we have your attention, let's dive into the world of dangerously delicious foods. Starting our countdown at number 10, we have a beloved American favorite, the hot dog. Now, you might be surprised to see this humble street food on our list, but it's not the ingredients that make it dangerous. Rather, it's the hot dog's size and shape that pose a risk. Perfectly cylindrical and just the right size to get lodged in a windpipe, hot dogs are a significant choking hazard, especially for children. In fact, they're responsible for a large chunk of food-related choking incidents among kids. So while hot dogs might be a staple at your summer barbecues or ballpark outings, it's crucial to be mindful when consuming them. Ensure they're cut into manageable, bite-sized pieces, especially when serving to children. And as always, remember to chew thoroughly. So next time you enjoy a hot dog, remember to chew thoroughly. Swimming into the 9th spot is a popular seafood choice, tuna. Tuna, beloved in sushi and sandwiches alike, can harbor a hidden danger. The risk lies not in the fish itself, but in an environmental toxin it accumulates, mercury. Mercury is a heavy metal that's toxic to humans, and unfortunately, our oceans are teeming with it due to industrial pollution. As fish like tuna swim in these mercury-laden waters, they ingest it, and it builds up in their bodies over time. When we consume tuna, especially in large quantities, we're also taking in this mercury. Over time, high levels of mercury can lead to mercury poisoning, which can cause a slew of health problems, from neurological issues to kidney damage. So, while tuna is a tasty and nutritious seafood option, it's crucial to remember that moderation is key. Enjoy your tuna salad or sushi roll, but remember, balance is everything when it comes to enjoying tuna. Our 8th spot is taken by a common garden plant, rhubarb. Now you're probably thinking about that delicious rhubarb pie, right? Hold that thought. While the tart stalks of this plant are a culinary delight, the leaves are a different story altogether. Rhubarb leaves contain a rather sinister ingredient known as oxalic acid. This substance, while found in many plants, is present in such high concentrations in rhubarb leaves that it can actually be quite dangerous if ingested. Oxalic acid is a toxin that can lead to kidney stones and, in severe cases, even kidney failure. Now, you'd need to eat quite a bit of these leaves for it to be lethal, but even in smaller amounts, they can cause some serious discomfort. Symptoms of oxalic acid poisoning include burning in the mouth and throat, nausea, vomiting, and weakness. So next time you're reaching for that rhubarb, remember this: stick to the stalks and leave the leaves alone. Spicing up the 7th spot is a kitchen staple, nutmeg. This innocuous-looking spice, often dusted over holiday drinks or added into sweet and savory dishes, hides a surprising secret. When consumed in large quantities, nutmeg can have a hallucinogenic effect. It's due to a compound called myristicin, which can induce effects similar to those of other psychedelic substances when taken in high doses. However, before you start seeing nutmeg in a whole new light, it's important to note that consuming it in large amounts can be dangerous. Nutmeg poisoning or myristicin poisoning can lead to complications such as rapid heart rate, nausea, dry mouth, and hallucinations. In severe cases, it can even cause seizures or death. So, the next time you reach for that nutmeg, remember, moderation is key. It's a classic case of too much of a good thing can be bad. A little nutmeg goes a long way. Our sixth spot is a surprise entry, potatoes. Yes, you heard it right. The humble spud, a staple in many diets worldwide, can pose a threat if not handled correctly. The danger lies not in the potato itself, but in the green areas and sprouts that can form when the potato is exposed to light or stored improperly. These green areas and sprouts contain solanine, a naturally occurring toxic chemical. Consuming high levels of solanine can lead to nausea, headaches, and, in severe cases, even paralysis. It's important to note that you'd have to eat a significant amount of green potatoes to experience these effects. However, it's always better to be safe than sorry. If your potato has turned green or started sprouting, it's best to toss it out. So, the next time you're making a hearty potato dish, remember to check your spuds for signs of solanine. Always store your potatoes properly to avoid danger. Swimming into our fifth spot is the notorious fugu, or pufferfish. This fish is more than just a prickly character, it's one of the most dangerous foods you can eat. The reason? Tetrodotoxin. This potent neurotoxin is found in the fish's skin, liver, and other organs. It's a substance so lethal that just a tiny amount can cause paralysis and even death. In fact, the toxin is so deadly that in Japan, where fugu is considered a delicacy, chefs must undergo rigorous training for at least 2 to 3 years before they are licensed to prepare this risky dish. Even with this strict regulation, there are still occasional cases of fugu poisoning each year. So why do people risk it? Well, for some, the thrill of dining on the edge is part of the allure. But remember, fugu is a risky delicacy, even in the best sushi restaurants. Cracking into fourth place are raw cashews. Now you might be thinking, I've eaten raw cashews, they're delicious. But here's a surprising fact. The so-called raw cashews you munch on are not exactly raw. In reality, the cashews we find in stores have been steamed. Why, you ask? To remove a dangerous chemical called urushiol. This is the same chemical found in poison ivy and can cause similar reactions if ingested or even just touched. Imagine biting into a cashew and ending up with a mouthful of poison ivy-like rash. Doesn't sound too pleasant, does it? Luckily, the steaming process neutralizes urushiol, making the cashews safe to consume. So the next time you reach for a handful of cashews, remember, they've undergone a process to make them safe for you to enjoy. And that's why those raw cashews aren't so raw after all. Isin, rooting its way into third place is cassava. This humble root vegetable, also known as yuca or manioc, is a staple in many parts of the world, particularly in Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean. But this seemingly innocent tuber hides a dangerous secret. When improperly prepared, cassava can lead to cyanide poisoning. Yes, you heard that right. Cyanide, the same deadly substance used in spy novels and murder mysteries. Cassava naturally produces cyanides, which are toxic compounds. When the root is not properly soaked, cooked, or fermented, these cyanides can remain, causing symptoms like vomiting, dizziness, and even death in severe cases. So, next time you're enjoying a dish made from cassava or its derivatives, remember this: proper preparation is key. This is especially true for foods like tapioca, which is made from cassava starch. If you're a fan of tapioca, make sure it's prepared correctly. In our second spot, we have Jamaica's national fruit, ackee. This vibrant lobster red fruit is as enticing as it is dangerous. Ackee is a staple in Jamaican cuisine, but it requires meticulous preparation to prevent any harm. You see, the unripe fruit contains a naturally occurring toxin called hypoglycin, which can induce a potentially fatal condition known as Jamaican vomiting sickness. This illness is characterized by sudden onset vomiting, dehydration, and hypoglycemia. The danger lies in the fruit's arils, the yellowish segments that are safe to eat when ripe and properly cooked. However, the black seeds and the unripe fruit are highly toxic. So if you ever find yourself handling this exotic fruit, remember, timing and preparation are key. Stick to the ripe arils and always cook thoroughly. It's a small step to take to enjoy this unique delicacy without risking your health. And the top spot goes to the seemingly harmless cherry pits. Surprising, isn't it? The pits of these sweet summer treats hold a potentially deadly secret. They contain a compound called amygdalin, which, when crushed, chewed, or damaged, converts into hydrogen cyanide, a fast-acting lethal poison. Now, before you swear off cherries forever, let's put things into perspective. You would need to consume a substantial number of crushed pits to reach a lethal dose. Accidentally swallowing a pit whole is generally safe as it passes through your digestive system undamaged. The danger arises when you decide to get curious and start crushing or chewing these pits. So next time you're enjoying a bowl of cherries, remember, the pits are not part of the treat. Toss them aside and continue your enjoyment of this fruit unscathed. So, enjoy cherries, but leave the pits untouched. And that wraps up our countdown of the top 10 most dangerous foods in the world. From the seemingly innocent hot dog, which can pose a choking hazard, especially for children, to the humble tuna, whose high mercury content can negatively affect our nervous system if consumed in excess. We've also shed light on rhubarb leaves, which, while not commonly known, contain toxic substances that can cause kidney failure. We've delved into the world of spices with nutmeg. Consuming just 2 grams can lead to nutmeg poisoning, while potatoes, a staple in many households, can produce harmful toxins if left to sprout and turn green. In our journey, we've ventured into the complexities of preparing fugu, or pufferfish, a delicacy that can be lethal if not prepared with utmost precision. We've also explored raw cashews, which contain urushiol, a chemical also found in poison ivy, and can cause similar reactions. We've highlighted the potential dangers of cassava, a root vegetable that needs thorough cooking to remove naturally occurring cyanide compounds. The tropical fruit ackee, a staple in Jamaican cuisine, can cause Jamaican vomiting sickness if consumed before it's fully ripe. And lastly, we've talked about cherry pits. While cherries are delicious, their pits contain cyanide and can be dangerous if accidentally crushed and swallowed. These foods, while they may be part of our everyday meals or exotic adventures, come with risks that we often overlook. However, with the right knowledge and preparation, we can continue to enjoy them safely. Our journey through these dangerous foods has been fascinating, hasn't it? Each food item carries its own unique story and risks, underlining the importance of being aware and informed about what we eat. Have you eaten any of these? Share your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fascinating food facts. Let's continue exploring the intriguing world of food together.